The year is 1945. The world is on the brink of a monumental shift. World War II is nearing its end, and Germany is about to surrender not once, but twice. The landscape of Europe is scarred by the ravages of a war that has lasted for 6 brutal years, leaving millions dead and countless lives shattered. The infamous dictator Adolf Hitler breathes his last on April 30th, leaving his war-torn country on the precipice of defeat. The Allies, resolute in their demand, will accept nothing but an unconditional surrender from the Nazi forces. As the smoke of the battlefield begins to clear, a complex situation unfolds. A surrender so unique, it happens twice. Once in the French city of Reims and then again in Berlin, the heart of the defeated Reich. In a war that had seen so much devastation, the end was in sight, but the surrender of Germany was not as straightforward as one might think. May 7, 1945, a day etched in history. The first surrender took place in Reims, France. A moment of resounding silence as the German representative General Alfred Jodl put pen to paper, signing the unconditional surrender on behalf of the German High Command. The world held its breath as the dreaded Nazi regime finally crumbled. This was no ordinary surrender. It was one laced with a bitter taste of defeat and an overwhelming sigh of relief. The war had ravaged Europe, leaving scars that would take generations to heal. Every stroke of Jodl's pen was a testament to the resilience of the Allies, a tribute to the millions of lives lost, and a promise of a future free from the shackles of Nazi tyranny. The room was thick with tension and anticipation. As Jodl signed, a hush fell over the Allied representatives. Every eye was glued to the document, every heart echoed the thud of the closing chapter of a brutal regime. The Allies had triumphed, but the cost had been high. There was a collective sense of relief, but also a deep sorrow for the devastation that had been wrought. Yet, even as the ink dried on the surrender document, the battle was far from over. The Soviet Union, dissatisfied with the proceedings, had other plans. Fast forward to May 8, 1945. This time we're in Berlin, Germany for the second act of surrender. Why a second signing, you might ask? The Soviet Union, a crucial player in the Allied forces, insisted on a second ceremony. They wanted it to take place in Berlin, the very heart of the Nazi regime, the epicenter of the conflict. The symbolism was potent, the message clear. The war was over, right where it had flared up most fiercely. Most importantly, they wanted Germany to understand the loss of life that was felt by the Soviet Union. Enter Marshal Georgy Zhukov, the Soviet Union's representative. A decorated war hero, Zhukov was a fitting choice to signify Soviet dominance and their pivotal role in the conflict's end. As he put pen to paper, the world held its breath. This was not just a military surrender, it was the capitulation of an ideology that had fueled 6 years of unprecedented global conflict. This second signing was more than a mere repeat of what had happened in Reims, France just a day earlier. It was a powerful statement, a testament to the Allied forces' unity and resolve. It underscored the importance of each nation's contribution to the victory over Nazi Germany. The second surrender held a profound significance. It marked not just the military defeat of the Third Reich but also the ideological downfall of Nazism. It was an emphatic full stop to a dark chapter in human history. With the dual surrender of Germany, World War II in Europe came to an end. But what did it all mean? The dual signing in Reims and Berlin wasn't just about marking the end of a war. It was a powerful symbol of unity and victory over the devastating force of Nazi Germany. This pivotal moment signified the close of an era marked by conflict, destruction, and human loss. In the aftermath, May 9th emerged as a day of celebration, recognized as Victory Day in Russia and other former Soviet states. It's a day to honor the sacrifices made and the victory achieved. But the end of the war was merely the beginning of a new chapter. The post-war period saw a world in reconstruction, rebuilding from the ashes of conflict. It also led to profound geopolitical changes. New alliances formed, maps were redrawn, and global institutions were established. As we look back on these pivotal moments, we see not just the end of a war, but the dawn of a new era. An era shaped by the lessons learned from the greatest conflict the world had ever seen.